Hi everyone, so today we're going to start up a 2020 matchup video between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. But before we start, I want to go a little bit update on my channel, what I'm going to be focusing on. I apologize for no uploads in the past couple months, but I wanted to focus wait a little bit until the midterms and focus a little bit on the midterms and put a little bit on a personal spin on my channel and do a little bit analysis of current events and how that affects long-term or the short-term political arena. So we're going to start doing this week and probably next week, most likely some videos about the 2018 midterms and the different the Senate election map, a House prediction, and I think probably once or twice per week I'm gonna go over the different current events that happened that week and discuss how that could likely affect the midterms. So that's a little bit update on the channel that you can see for the next few months. I'm probably going to stay away from the 2020 election matchups until after the midterm elections. But if you guys want to see something, I could probably fit in a couple here and there before the midterms. But thanks for coming in and coming to the channel. Please consider subscribing. There'll be some more content soon. But without further ado, we're going to head back to the 2020 matchup. And this was a request by viewers. So I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but shout out to the person that did, and thank you for watching. Thanks. Hi, everyone. So we got a rematch between Secretary Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump in 2020. So if you look back at these states are states that each candidate won by less than 10% in 2016. So we're just gonna get right into the predictions. So Texas has a positive net approval rating. Texas, a lot of the conservatives. I think we're gonna leave the third party votes and vote for Donald Trump again, because they'll see that Trump has still been fighting for most of their values and their policies that they prefer. So I think Trump is gonna gain a lot of his third party voters back. Georgia, I also see voting for Trump again. He has a net approval rating of +4. And Hillary Clinton has not gained any popularity. Last poll was taken, she had a 36% favorability rating, which was taken by Gallup back in December 2017. So she's as popular, or if less popular than Donald Trump. So she's not going to have any. The approval rating polls don't mean too much in these predictions. Arizona, I see that voting for Donald Trump, mainly because I feel like he's going to get his base out. He pardoned Joe Arpaio. He's very popular about his base. He's going to get his base to turn out. Where Hillary Clinton, who has to focus on minority voters to turn out, especially Hispanic voters in Arizona, which are less likely to vote, she's not going to win that state. And I think she's going to focus on other areas of the country that she lost in 2016, which I'll discuss later. New Mexico, I see voting for Hillary Clinton, pretty much a safe Dem state nowadays. Voted for her by 8 points. I see it voting again. Colorado, I see also voting again for Hillary Clinton. Mainly because Jeff Sessions with legalized marijuana he wants to still prosecute people as a federal crime. That's something that people in Colorado would be taken aback by. A lot of Hispanic voters that would be alienated by Trump's rhetoric and his withdrawal from DACA. So I feel Colorado is going to vote again for Hillary Clinton. If you go to Virginia, I also see that voting for Hillary Clinton again. It voted by big margin for Ralph Northam in the governor's race in 2017. It was Hillary Clinton's running mate. Tim Kaine's home state. I don't think Hillary Clinton would pick Tim Kaine again, but I still see her winning the state. Minnesota, it is sort of in the Rust Belt, but I would say the least Rust-like characteristics than the rest of the Rust Belt states. I see Minnesota voting for Hillary Clinton again. If we see the polling, Trump's approval rating is not that great in Minnesota. It's, I believe, around -14. Yes, -14 in the state of Minnesota. So I see that voting for Hillary Clinton. If we go to New Hampshire, I see that voting for Hillary Clinton. Trump made some mean comments about having it was a drug-infested den. Hillary Clinton could put a lot of ads together and attack him on that in the state. Approval rating is similar to Minnesota in this scenario. So I see Hillary Clinton winning New Hampshire again, because she narrowly won it in 2016, but I see her winning it again. In terms of in Maine, excuse me, I see that the at large electoral votes is going to vote again for Hillary Clinton, mainly because Trump has a -8 approval rating here. Uh, I think Hillary Clinton is gonna make sure that she gets that state, considering it was so close and it's considered a Democratic based state. She's gonna be campaigning here, but the second congressional district, I feel like it's gonna vote for Donald Trump again because even though he's a -8 disapproval in the rural areas, is much that indicates that he has a decent amount of support in the rural areas. So I think that second congressional district is going to vote for Trump. Second congressional district in Nebraska, I don't really see Hillary making play there. Last time Democrat won it was 2008 with Obama, and the only time the Democrat won it. And I don't think Hillary Clinton is going to have that same popularity that she's going to be able to win it or have enough time to focus in Nebraska because she's going to be focusing a lot on the Rust Belt because that's what she lost in 2016. Florida actually, unlike most predictions, I'm gonna call right away. I'm gonna say that votes for Donald Trump. Despite people have been saying like the Paris Climate Agreement, Trump withdrew, or the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooting, where there's a lot of young voters energized in the state. Trump has a positive approval rating +4, which is the same as Georgia. So I see Florida voting for Donald Trump, but the 2018 governor's race between Andrew Gillum and Ron DeSantis is going to be a big indicator of where that's going to go in 2020. If we go now to North Carolina, I also see that voting for Donald Trump. He actually voted for a larger margin for Donald Trump than Arizona did for Hillary Clinton. And I don't think Hillary Clinton can get enough of the black vote out in North Carolina. Hillary Clinton kind of rode off of a black president and associated with him. But now, after the Obama presidency has passed, she's going to have a hard time appealing to African Americans. If we move to Nevada, out in the West, I'm going to say that still votes for Hillary Clinton. Actually, Donald Trump was leading in the polls prior to the 2016 election, but polling data is usually off in Nevada, usually overestimates the Republicans in the 2010 Senate race. Harry Reid held on despite losing in the polling data. If you go back to Trump's approval rating, the state has a -7, so I see that. I can see a good chance of it voting for Donald Trump, but as of now, I see Hillary Clinton barely winning it, probably by the same margin she did in 2016. Ohio, a Rust Belt state, I see voting for Donald Trump. The approval rating is a -1 right now, so roughly even, but a lot with the trade deals that Trump withdrew from TPP, excuse me, and from is renegotiating NAFTA and put the steel tariffs is going to be popular, and he's going to say, I came back on my promise for the Rust Belt voters, and Trump's going to be able to win the state of Ohio. Iowa used to be kind of a solid state for Democrats because there was a lot of progressives here, but it's white progressives and a white working class. And I don't really, Hillary Clinton still does not have that appeal to those voters, while Donald Trump has. And there is a lot of social conservatives in the state of Iowa, which again, with the policies of Donald Trump, would probably feel more comfortable than 2016 voting for him. Now we go into the Rust Belt, which will be probably very fiercely fought over. And I could see any of these states going either way. So this election is kind of a toss-up for me. But if I had to give a prediction, I see Michigan voting for Hillary Clinton and flipping. Out of the three states, it was probably had the least margin for Donald Trump at 0.3%. You could see, I feel like Hillary can win the state without appealing to white working class voters. Because she can go to the areas of Flint, Michigan, and Detroit and get out the African American vote, get out minority support. There's a decent Muslim population in Michigan, and talking about the Flint water crisis to attack Republicans and be able to win the state of Michigan without really appealing to that white working class base that Trump has appealed to. In that sense, though, I see Pennsylvania voting for Donald Trump because I don't see Hillary Clinton increasing her margins in the Philadelphia suburbs or in Philadelphia or getting out her base to vote. But Trump will hold his big margins in the rural parts of the state because of his steel tariffs. He could say that he kept his promises in that area. So I feel like Pennsylvania would vote for Donald Trump. Even though you can see the approval rating is -7 for Donald Trump. Like I said, Hillary Clinton has less of approval rating or even just as bad as approval rating as Donald Trump. And you could argue that the polling in 2016 was pretty off in the Rust Belt, so it might not be accurate. So I would say Pennsylvania has a good chance of going for Donald Trump. Now Wisconsin, which is a -15 approval rating for Donald Trump, this is a state I honestly think is a toss up. I could see going either way. I'm gonna put it in the Donald Trump column right now. You have Evers in the lead over Scott Walker right now, only by a couple points. I think that's going to be a big indicator where he's going to vote in 2020. But there's a lot of white working class voters in Wisconsin, less minority voters. I don't think Hillary Clinton will be able to win this state. There's a lot of progressives here, but I feel like they're the type of progressives that mistrust Hillary Clinton and will vote third party. So I can see Wisconsin voting for Donald Trump. So in the final electoral map, you see 290 for Donald Trump, 248 for Hillary Clinton. Only state that flips from 2016 is Michigan. Probably a very similar election, both very unpopular. Nothing much will change in 2020. And probably a lot of progressives will still be a little bit disillusioned by the 2016 primary, probably by 2020 primary if Hillary Clinton wins again. And so I feel like Trump will, I think, get a lot of conservative voters vote for him again. So a lot of third-party voters will shift back to Trump, while a lot of Hillary Clinton voters may not be ready to shift back towards Hillary Clinton. That's my prediction for today. I hope you enjoyed. In regards to the popular vote, I really see it going probably roughly the same margin as 2016. But thank you for watching. Hopefully I get to catch you for the next video.